Back into Clair Expedition 33. I don't know about you guys, but when I play, I have recently liked replaying a game that I really enjoyed. Just start all over again from scratch. No NG, no endless endgame. Just do it all over again. Because, well, for me, I think it is for most people. It is not a destination, it is a journey. The game felt the best when you were going through it. At the end, it's kind of like it all kind of becomes pointless in a way. So I want the point to come back, and the only way I can get that to happen is if I just start over. I don't know what to say there, right? So yeah, it's weird, because I kind of think that kind of applies to life too. Like when I review like all the best moments of my life, like the times I felt like holy shit, I feel great, I feel alive. This is it, man. Is when I felt like it was gonna head somewhere great, not getting there, when it was heading there. And that's really important because once you get there, well, then where are you headed now? You know what I mean? And the problem is, it's not about comparing positions of how good the position is. It's about comparing how good the headings are, if that makes any sense. Like if you're headed toward, I'll give you to a very bland numerical example. If you're headed towards what you thought was 100 points of, 100 points of awesome. I'll just use like a fucking slang term, okay? And you get there. And then your next thing is headed towards 5 points of awesome. But your position's like a lot higher. Is it better than before? From my experience, no, not even close. Not even close. You absorb that position into like your normal state very fast. And yeah, it's just where are you going next? And that gets hard, Like when I look at people who have like, let's say an easy example is YouTube. They got a lot of subscribers and views, right? But what I think is gonna be their not happiness. I hate that word. The fuck I'm alive factor is what's the trajectory of their growth, right? And actually, when I say that, it's not that surprising because like aren't stock prices usually based on that anyway? Like where are you headed, right? They care not about so much. They do care, but not as much as the trajectory of what's to come, right? So, well, what a tangent, huh? But yeah, it's like, and then like you think about like how the end goal in life is just to be, as the guy in Heat said it, barbecues and baseball games. But like, it does seem like okay, but where are you going after that, right? It becomes all management, responsibilities, so to speak, right? Which is, of course, you got to take them on, but is that why, like, studies have shown, like, for example, men between the ages of 40 and 60 are just the most miserable? They, they are, and then you're like, why? Don't they have everything? And yeah, so, I might explain a bit of it. What am I doing? Well, that doesn't matter. I'm going to take this. This is not, I realize slowly over time, these are not gameplay sessions. They're just, like I said in the previous vid, an excuse, a place to talk. Because, yeah, I think you have to sleep here. It's just you and her? Where's Mael? I'm so blind sometimes. That doesn't matter. I think you get an automatic conversation with her here. So. Is that what the midlife crisis is really about, though? Oh, right. Was Mael separated? Oh, I don't even have Mael. That's weird that I assumed that I did, though. Truthfully. Just a random topic here, just totally random. As I mentioned, like, barbecues and baseball games. Usually that includes marriage, right? And I got a few words to say about this one. I gotta get it out here. Like, for the longest time, I don't know, some guys out there probably feel the same way. Do you want to get married, right? What does that mean, though, right? So, like, I was really, instead of just blindly absorbing what the cultural definition or acceptance of it is, I always have to question everything for what it actually is, right? And then I always do the, well, what if you're on an isolated island, you and that partner? Do you want to get quote-unquote married? You sure want to be together. That makes sense. You want to spend time together. Your interests are aligned, potentially. That all makes sense. You may have offspring and you want to protect them. That all makes sense on an island. But it doesn't make sense to get married. And you're like, well, what does that mean, right? There's no wedding dress. There's nobody watching. Is probably the biggest... what's missing. So how can you have a ceremony when no one's watching? Now, you might have one in modern times in the memory of if people were watching, right? But to me, that's like not the same. So essentially what I think the essence of it is, you want to show everyone else that you're together. And it makes sense because you wear the ring, right? To show everyone else. So in essence, it's about showing everyone else around you of what you two are, if that matters so much to you. So what I don't get is why it matters so much to the woman. You know what I mean? Like, so I haven't really dived too deep into that. But then comes all the really weird things that, that go around it, like, the anniversaries and all that shit. Like, the thing is I don't feel anything on those days. It's like so arbitrary, And I know it's like a very very cynical way to look at it. But sometimes I think cynics are accurate. It's just unpleasant to think of it that way, so to speak. And anyway, it's a sensitive topic, so I don't want to talk too much about it. I still think people are maybe watching. Actually, I don't know if these are like real numbers or not real numbers. What the fuck is the fire button? There it is. Okay. But like, people came and watched some of the Expedition 33 stream, and they stayed for quite a while, I think. Not too long. But that made me really, it's not the number of people so much as somebody out there. Just give me one person. Just give me one who cared and stayed, 0 is sad, but 1, that's good enough. It's like in life, you don't really need many people, but being all alone in life and being like with one other person that cares about you is a completely massive difference, right? Completely massive. And it is technically impossible, I think, to have like 100,000 people all really care about who you actually are, right? And I kind of thought about this, right? I like Denzel Washington, but I like the roles he portrays, his work. Don't like him as a person. I don't know who he is. Only his family knows who he is. And you know what? For all that I like about his work, I don't care who he is either. Like, you can tell me later that he did all these horrendous things, as long as it's not too atrocious, then it might affect my opinion. But like, I'd go, yeah, okay, so he's human, But I still appreciate what he's done. Does it invalidate what he did? Why must that be, like when you like him, they don't get the full package, right? If you like the guy for what he did, he receives enough, he gets the reward from money, right? But I don't know. I'm going off too far a tangent here, so I'll stop. Just saying, like, I was like, there was the expectation that, like, if you do work out there, like you're trying hard to be liked or something, but that's not gonna happen. Because like, even in the most extreme talent cases where like the person's just so talented, like world class, even someone like me who really gets disturbed by the lack of care these days, I'm part of that group. I thought, like, if Denzel was suffering, I don't think like I would care. I'll be like, yeah, it's sad, but I don't know him, so okay, it's not for me to handle, right? It's his problem, right? So like, kind of a thing. So distinction between adulation and actually like and like I think in a large way, see that howl right there, that howl from my cat, it's because there's another cat outside who wants, that cat will never enter, but just the presence of that other cat is causing my usually very docile and, well, she's meowing a lot, but she goes hysterical, okay? And I'm like, relax, it's like, but then of course, my cat probably doesn't know that that door is not going to be opened, like it can't be opened, so she like freaks out like crazy. And like, wow, like animals that territorial, like holy fuck, right? Like crazy. Anyway, one thing I liked about this zone is, I remember this when I first entered it, I'm not looking at the screen so much anymore because I'm so zoned out, and it's getting easier and easier for me to do this. It's like a muscle. It was a little hard at the beginning, but now it's easier. You just have to get into the game that has good visuals and just slow-mo through the game, and I get in that zone really quick these days. And like one thing I liked about this zone is the way I think the ocean is above you, right? Like you're underwater, kind of, right? Yeah, you are underwater. Because this is exactly what it looks like to a very to an eerily level. This is what it looks like very much if you go underwater, right? And you look up to this ocean floor. That scene, and also this is freakishly underwater. The waves, I think it's the waves. I'm not an expert on lighting and how it all works, but this fucking effect is, I feel underwater because of this. Like the light reflections are what causes me to believe this is underwater. The way it's moving, that's so real, that's so creepy actually, like, it actually evokes emotion, like it triggers memories in my brain of when I went like scuba diving a lot, not scuba diving, snorkeling a lot in ancient history now, but it's creepy. Like lighting is it's crazy, lighting, I'm telling you, like more than the objects themselves, the way light is transmitted throughout the world and how it changes the way things look. Like you got to get that right. And I think the first example of this was GTA 5, the one in LA, the one that was like still being played a lot right now. Like I looked at that, and like when I looked at the sky, it was like, why the fuck does that look so real? It's not about the clouds, it's not about the color, it's just something about it, like you look off into the distance, what is that? Then I noticed more carefully, like it's tinged blue. Like things that are closer to you have a certain color temperature. They look whatever, normal. Look off in the distance, like far away into the mountains, it's like kind of bluish. And I think that's what's making it so real. Like why though? Like why does that remind me of what I've seen in real life? And then I read like things in a distance do look more blue because there's more water droplets between you and that thing you're looking at in the distance. And I was like blown away. Like, wow, well they never did that before, did they? And they modeled that into the game to give that's like really real look to the outdoor environments. And that's all lighting. Well, not, is it lighting? It could be lighting shaders. I don't know what the tech is really, because I don't know 3D. But the point being is that someone insisted on that to be done, right? The lazy way is just make a sky, make it blue, done. But when you want to make a world-class game, those details do matter and set you apart from the competition for sure. Like, right? And that's why I don't like the macho, like the Neanderthal, like sarcastic dude who just comes in with like, no one cares about that, or I don't know, whatever sarcastic comment they got said. Cause, whatever, they can just do it. I don't have nothing to say to these people. Nothing to say. I think it's because this is what I think the theory is. If you, and I noticed this too when I was teaching English. I don't want to sound disparaging because maybe some people watch and get insulted, but I don't want to like also filter myself too much because then there's no point of doing this. But like, what I remember was, like, the more people you gather into the room, I'm not joking, the more you have to lower your intelligence. Like, you can't talk about smart shit anymore, or like what I think is things that require an IQ over is really, really sensitive because people going, oh, what's smart, right? Well, I don't know. I have a rough idea, I think. Things that require higher education. Let's put it that way, okay? A euphemism. Like, you can't do that anymore. You have to lower down to the greatest common denominator. You have to. If you don't, it just goes whoosh over like most people's heads. And then that kind of like propagates throughout the entire room. Like, even if there's smart people who get it, now they're too scared to like agree with you. Because if they do, they become the oddball out. If that makes sense, right? But if you lower everything down and do stupid like one-liner jokes and shit, people laugh. And then you are just pushed into that, to doing that because you want to please them. And you want to make everyone happy. And it is better when everyone's laughing and having a good time. But then the moment the room shrinks to like lesser people, should there be like more like-minded people, the conversation mutates completely into like a different animal. If that makes any sense, right? So I always thought like one-to-one is really hard sometimes because if you're not really gelling with that person, oh, that can be a long 1 hour. But like you get 3 people, I think the sweet spot was like 4, including yourself. Even 5, 6 is okay. But past 6, chaos sinks in. I can't explain it. It's just like, you don't know what to say anymore because you don't know who your audience is anymore. Like, it's just, everyone wants something different. Everyone's different. Like, and there's too much different in the room. And now my brain's like, okay, I guess I go with what everyone would possibly like. But the thing that everyone would possibly like is too generic, if that makes any sense. And it's not fun anymore to go in that space. So I never enjoyed, I mean, aside from the fact that there's something that's really like stimulating, no doubt, about having 12 people all stare at you and like looking at you like in a very like, in an admiration way. But I never enjoyed those because they were really exhausting, for lack of a better word, right? So, yeah. So, like, although I was happy, I also dreaded when, like, I saw, like, oh, fuck, like, this is gonna be a big lesson, right? And, yeah. Too many people in a room is just chaos. Just absolute chaos. Just, and you gotta lower the bar, kind of, to meet everyone's needs. And that's rough. That's hard. That's really hard. I'll stop on that one. Yeah. Okay. I was just randomly assigning skills there. On that topic also, I met a lot of, I think that though, that was the best time of my life. I got to see, talk to, and interact with many people of all walks of life, and for sure that ranks on the top of like, I think actually on a whole, that time of my life was the happiest, even though I was very poor, relatively speaking to now. It's just, there were ups and downs, of course, but like I just review it and just rank it, like um, but it could be just a just the times. I don't know. It's hard to say. But another interesting thing I want to put out is also that there was this older guy, right? He was very talented. He was one of the top. Like he made commercials for TV, and also he produced like light festivals and stuff. And this guy was obviously very talented. You could tell. The way he like approached shit was different. Like he dressed in pink. He's like a fashion designer as well. Like he did all kinds of like design work. But yeah, I'm trying to remember now. But anyway, despite this guy, you think like maybe I have a lot to talk to this guy about, right? But no, we never gelled, and it's weird because I could tell like this guy was really, he's just like, I don't know, you don't have to get along with everybody, right? And then but you know what's really unusual? If it wasn't for this guy, I would never have released the best product I ever made to the outside world. He egged me on in the end. He said like, what you've made here has like serious potential, when no one else would have said that. No one else said that. Okay, the guy I didn't get along with, but he had a lot of talent. This guy was the one who like recognized the damn thing and said, like I never forgot that, because without him saying that, I would be too shy to even release a damn thing that sold for like a lot. If I could just, yeah, that's for sure. That is fact. I think after he said that, I had the courage to hit the publish button. But I never thanked him, and we never became friends. He just offered his opinion, which kind of tells me if you want a good company, you don't have to just hire people you like. Maybe you should hire people you don't like. You know what I mean? But they have to be of certain skills. It's not like, don't just hire people because, because maybe they're offering a different angle, or I don't know what it is. Like they complete what you're missing. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. Because he was like everything I wasn't. He was extroverted, good at public speaking. Only thing in common was that we both used Macs, but that's because I had an iPhone and he didn't Mac at the time. But he was an early adopter, by the way, of the iPhone. So I mean, like and this one I'll never forget. This one I'll never forget too. Some other guy remarked that this guy would hold events sometimes, like parties, and I remember some other guy who was like, I thought he was like me a bit, bitter, bitter and angry about life. And the guy told me that, I don't know why he told me this. He just said, the parties that the fashion designer holds are different. They're better. I'm like, oh, why though? Isn't a party just a party? He's like, no, because there's a goal, there's a theme, so I don't know, because I don't really like parties. I never went to them, but that fact remained with me. Like, really? Like, okay. See, I have no idea what that really entails, but that such a thing does exist is actually kind of interesting to me. Like, what is that, right? I mean, how do you explain it in a sentence? What is it? Because if you knew what that was, could you then reproduce it again and again, or is it a talent that you cannot, like, organizing public events and making them fun, interesting for everyone involved? That's got to be a serious talent, right? Like, no, this scene I like though. This scene I like very much. Like Mel's reaction is kind of real, I think.
dû... J'aurais dû venir t'aider.
Tout va bien. C'est rien.
Je suis si
On
inquiet.
est au vie. Comment tu t'es retrouvée là? Je sais pas. Tout est flou. Je me souviens juste de la plage. Je me suis réveillée ici. Avec lui. Il m'a énormément aidé. Il a renforcé tout le piquant. Qu'est-ce qu'il est? Aucune idée. Il ne parle pas vraiment. La chroma qui l'entoure. Elle est tout à fait différente de celle de moi.
Yeah. Anyway. You know, at the servers of Sandfall, the makers of the game, they have the simple data of everyone's, like, the preferred characters overall. They do. For me, it has to be Mael, but I don't know what. It's got to be all over the place. Interesting, huh? Alright, just leave the damn room. Like, this kind of room, though, as extravagant as it looks, I don't like it. It's too overdone. It's, well, I mean, I'm just as an example. It's really, it's off-putting. I don't know how to, something about it, something about this whole place seems wrong. Like, just, I don't know what it is. That part's well done. I don't feel comfortable here, is the feeling.
D'accord. Mais cette fois, j'ai des renforts. Gustave, esquive.
What's jump? Fuck. Oh, jump is, okay, it's there. Jump is A? What's A? Why can't I have PlayStation? Okay, I think that's just X on a PlayStation. Yeah, I don't care anymore. Oh. Have to switch, I guess, huh? Is it this one? What? I didn't jump on time? Or too early? Mirror assaults. Sure.
Que l'encre coule. Sans la brûlure.
So, recently I also saw an interesting, well, that does a lot of damage, doesn't it? Jump! Is it too, oh, it's too early? It's too early, isn't it? Anyway. Oh my god, I don't know why I get so sleepy doing this. Holy shit. Like, it's so relaxing, I almost, like, want to go to sleep. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll do that. But it's just... The thing is, though, I feel sleepy now. But then when I try to go to sleep, it's like, well, then I'm not doing this anymore, right? Then, like, the, like, anxious thoughts just come back to me, right? So, like, if I could, like, lie down in bed, do this, and then fall asleep, it'd be best, but it's not going to be possible, so. I should have watched that. Yeah. But yeah, before I forget, because I'm gonna forget. I didn't think I mentioned this one. Another good video from that Swan person said like people believe orphanages are horrible, and they can be, but she was saying, well, what is it about an orphanage that's so horrible? They have shelter, they have food, and they have education sometimes, right? Which is, it's enough, right? So, but what's missing? And then like, why do we instinctively feel it's a horrible place? What is it? What if they have all those basic necessities? So what is it about the orphanage that's so horrible? You go, oh, they don't have their parents, but then she was saying, aren't there parents out there that provide exactly that in spades and nothing else? Food, shelter, education, and nothing else, because they're never there, right? Is the kind of the thing. So what's the missing thing, right? And then the list was extensive. It's a the list was forever. Like all the things macho men would deny that they need. I'll tell you that. Like whatever. You can fill that list in with your own imagination, or the video has covered it really well, so I won't even repeat it. I can't remember. It's too long. Physical affection, like listening ear, support, like all these things, emotional support, all the things that macho people claim they don't need, right? And as someone who's been on the top of the, not top of the world, I felt like I was on the top of the world at one point, and like, you kind of don't need those things because they're kind of implicitly implied, like, at every turn in life, but things don't always stay at the top of the world, usually, for most people. And then it's like, well, after that, and even that is not the same. It's like, you will get a feeling of all those things if and only if you can maintain whatever the thing you're doing that people like from now until the end of time. That's hard. Even pro athletes will never get this, right? They will fade eventually. Have to. Physical never stays with you for your whole life. So, there's very few people who can do this. Like have a lifelong career in which their value to the world just is almost a constant. It's very difficult, I think. Right? Very unlikely. Most people never get to that point anyway. At all. So it's like, in the end, we do need these things, right? I mean, they're like foundations, right? And like, if you don't have those things and you're now depending on that thing, that great thing you did for that, it's bad, I think, because it could be good and bad. In one way, it could be good because it drives you like crazy. You just keep at it like more than the average person would, and that leads maybe to a competitive advantage. But on the other hand, it's bad because you might make poor decisions in that field because of it. I think it's true. Like, I can't... It's... Yeah. There must be countless examples I can't think of right now, but yeah. Because, like yesterday I mentioned that guy, that streamer that I really liked, who felt very affected, almost in tears, when a random guy in his stream, who by all accounts shouldn't matter, right? What you'd say is ignore him, ignore the haters, right? But he was in tears and saying that really affected him. And you might think, well, I would take that in stride, right? And possibly that's true. But like, it's most likely something that happened in his childhood or in his life, or what, some of it, not all of it, and that's why it hurts so much. If that makes sense, right? But the guy doesn't filter it out? Like, why didn't he set up if he knew that would hurt him so much, why doesn't he set up moderation? Or that was the other thought. And it's probably because he wants the flip side of that, which is all the all the love, so to speak, or adulation from the fans that he's streaming to. But mixed in with that will be the attacks. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. So, because I don't know what exactly goes on in being a big streamer like that. So, but like, it would be a mistake to think, well, he should have been more thick-skinned. Well, being thick-skinned is not just a switch you just turn on like a light switch. You may already have it. It could be thanks to the way you were brought up, or your genetics, or a billion other factors. But if you don't have it, that's very hard to change. In fact, it could be impossible. It might be better just to embrace the fact that you don't have it and work around it, like, yeah. So yeah, example there, right? Like, if you didn't need all that, if you treated streaming as more of a distant job, see, here's where it kind of comes in, right? If the streamer treats it like a job, then the whole vibe of it comes off as a job. And while there is some good in that, some people do want to connect on a different level with the streamer, I think. And only people who are, you know what I'm saying? It's like, he would not have been that popular had he treated that thing all distant like a job, right? I wouldn't have watched, because he opened himself out on stream in public. Some might say it's a big mistake in general, but I'm glad he did that, even though, it certainly didn't end well for him. But I'm glad he did it, because it's selfish though. I'm glad he did it, like, for me, because the guy made me laugh. He made me cry, made me laugh. He was entertaining as hell. Like, I don't know why. It's just.
Attention.
And that guy I think he was loaded with money. Okay. He was. Holy fuck, like, I don't want. Some things I remember about. If I speak too much about it, I feel like. Oh, and it's so weird. Like, another one, like, I was watching this really cool bit about, like, they're interviewing a lot of screenwriters on how they make, like, really good characters in movies. Like, what is the thing, right? So the great thing is they interviewed a lot of them, not just one. And the ones I remember was, some guy said it's good to include hypocrisy in the character. Like, they actually think there's something, but they're doing another. And the best example, as I say that out loud, is Breaking Bad's Walter White. Okay, like, and this guy who said it was not the dude who, I forgot his name. What is his name? I remember his name if I heard it, but the guy who wrote Breaking Bad. It was from someone else, because Walter White is a hypocrite, right? The whole time he believes he's doing it for his family, and then he comes to the conclusion at the end, the realization that it really was for himself. And it's moving. The reason why it's so moving, because he said that, in essence, we are all hypocrites in a certain way. Like, we can't escape it. I certainly don't want to be one. Like, I think that's one of the, like, misrepresenting yourself is one of the worst. For me, it's very unattractive. Let's just put it that way. But I don't know. Like, I feel like it's unattractive. That's all. Yeah, but he said to include hypocrisy in your characters. It makes them more real, and it gives them that bite. I don't know. He didn't word like that. It makes the characters a lot more like there. kind of a thing. Interesting. Then Aaron Sorkin, the guy behind Social Network, right? And some other good ones, like, but he's probably known for Social Network, I think, which I like that movie a lot. Like, I watched it like 40 times. It's crazy, man. The guy said, instead of trying to define what the character is, best to portray what the character wants, and people will fill in the rest. And usually, like, what they want is something very hard to get. Seems almost insurmountable, like, kind of like, you'll never get it, but you could, but it's kind of out of reach. And you have to establish why they want it. So it could be just as simple as a girl. It could also be like other things, right? And it's so good with editing. They show like the thing, like as he's saying it, like visually. So in that way, it's like when you have a visual and audio like that, it's almost like a double communication, right? You're hearing. Okay, I can't explain that, but it's richer, the form of communication. So it could be a girl, it could be like money, it could be fame, it could be something else, right? And then in the way between that character and what they want are a bunch of obstacles. And then I heard that, I was like, that sounds like a video game, honestly. It does. Like, it just exactly sounds like a video game. Without the obstacles, it's no fun. If the goal is pointless, it's no fun. You know, like, if you don't actually want it, it's no fun. But you put them all together, now it's fun. You know, it's interesting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to capture the essence of all those things. Otherwise, it's just flat, you know? Like something's missing, you know? Which is why, like I said in the last stream, made sense that even though I feel the fighting in this game is kind of like tacked on, when I play this game, I kind of want to just, let's get the fights over with, kind of a feeling. But if you don't include it, then there's no obstacles, and then something's missing, right? And what do these people want? They want to eliminate the gamage, the paintress, that's established very well in the prologue, and the why established very well by what Gustave lost and the horrors of it. So the established motive, they put the obstacles there, and what's the third one? You have the obstacles, what they want. I don't know. That's about it, right? So yeah, obstacle between you and what you want. Let's get it. I don't want to fight. Oh, fuck.
Une tempête approche.
RT? What? It's not R. Okay. Sorkin one's very good. I mean, like, the Sorkin one's very, I don't know, it's like, it's very not obvious, but like, it's so direct, and it's direct. Like, the only interesting one was the characters on the screen are not actually real. Everyone knows this, right? We believe them to be real. But he said essentially that's a whole trick. What is happening is the characters are simply a way for people, like, if you have, and it makes sense, because as a child, or like someone who hasn't had enough experience in life, if you watch something like a Game of Thrones or like a more mature kind of content, well, what is it about that show that doesn't appeal to the child? It's because he hasn't had enough experience yet in life. And then what it is basically you have to have had something experiences or at least understand this phenomena in a way that the characters are just a way for you to like the characters in a movie are just a tool to activate the parts of your brain that know this to be true. Or I'm not wording it right. He worded it all because I don't understand it. That's why I can't say it. But like, it's like when you're writing a real character, you have to tap into the viewers. Like, you aim for the viewers like empathy and like their understanding of what the world is. And but the way you channel that is through the characters, right? But I didn't like the way you worded that because if you say it's a trick, does that mean I have to like? I mean, I don't want to hear that. I want to just subject myself to the trick, if that makes any sense. Because it's entertaining. I don't want to, like... I think it could be worded a little differently, I think. What is this? Oh, it's a story thing, yeah. Okay. Thought that was interesting, though.
Il y en a tellement. J'aime pas ça.
Yeah. Anyway.
Merde. Celui-là est gigantesque.
Il faut les éviter à tout prix.
It's nice. No, that's what he looked like, huh? The big blob of something that I think the idea is simple. Those things are too like abstract art. So there's no like associations that I can draw upon when that's why I feel like the monster design is like eh. You know. I'm not saying we should just make it typical dragons, just something more. Best example, like I said, was that graven mass thing from Elden Ring. Something like that. Like, you know, instills horror. Something weird. This is, what is this? What are these? What is this like? I see claws and called luster. Oh, what the fuck? Why? No damage?
Une tempête approche. Sans la brûlure. Fatalité. Survie, s'il te plaît.
It's just the last person that gets the reward? Anyway. Oh. Okay, fuck. I gotta run. There it is. Come on, where is the next area? It's not here. I got lost here before. For hours. It's like down here, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Is it? I don't like this zone because it's really easy to get lost. Is it here? I don't think it's here. I remember like going here, then not here, and then it's like so direct. It's like from the entrance to the zone, it's like a really obvious route. Yet they put like a 1,000 detours that make you like disoriented. Okay, this is where you start. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, it's a really obvious place. Like, it goes straight, right? No? What if you go right? Go right? No. This is like a sub-boss. No. It's a flag? It's here. Yeah. Good. Right. But yeah. Oh, this is not that. Whatever. Skip. Now this guy, remember, has a lot of HP.
Faites attention.
He's weak to lightning, if I remember right. Not that weak though. This is not good. It's got way too much HP. It's okay. Most of my like mental energy is taken up by the need to think about what the right action is next turn. Okay, second hand's really fast. Okay. Let's do marking shot. Oh, marking shot does a lot. That does a lot. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of burn damage. Oh, burn is a permanent. It never goes away, huh? Ah, no shit. Okay, probably better do this then. Like, stack the burns like really hard. I never knew that. There's no expiry on burn. Okay, I see, I see. So for prolonged fights, oh no, there is. Okay, I'm wrong.
Pour ceux qui viendront après.
Une tempête approche. Prête à frapper fort.
Just burn her to death then. This is where he goes like turbo. Damn.
Prépare-toi.
Fuck.
Que l'on retrouve.
What's this? Risky medium fire. No. Just keep burning.
Survie, s'il te plaît. Lame affûtée. Attaque. Faites vite. Que l'homme retrouve. Sans la brûlure.
What the fuck is this? I don't remember anymore. It generates its flowers, so what?
En défense.
Okay.
Pour ceux qui viendront après.
It's a long fight. Sticking up all my attention. But it's kind of boring, too. I gotta say, that's why I say the fighting system is like, whatever. Like, it does well in spite of it. That's how I feel. Is that worse? Like he's gonna do more shit? I don't know. Sleep.
Une tempête approche.
Okay, isn't he, I don't have any like big damage skills. Oh, 543 is not bad. That's pretty damn good. I should do that more often. What a long boss fight. It's gonna be like, what, 10 minutes or something? Damn. It's all about variations. Like, you know, if you went through the whole sub-zone, leveled up, got other weapons, like, you'd be stronger, so... Which is weird because it's like, in essence, when you level up a character in RPG, it's the same thing as not leveling up and lowering the difficulty. Is it not? Like, I don't see the difference. Like, if you think of it that way, it feels not stupid, but pointless to level up? I don't know. Unless you couldn't beat him on the lowest difficulty, which is like, then you need to level up. But let's say you can't beat him on normal, right? And you level up for 1 hour, and then you beat him. Oh fuck! Like, No way. This guy goes turbo at the end. Okay. Now I have to revive. Well, this is going to be interesting.
Désolée, j'ai échoué.
Gustav only. Okay. Let's see how clutch we can get here. Well, I think it's over, right? 2 HP remaining. Oh, I could have done the other one too. Yeah, 10 out of 10. He's dead now. Yeah, thank God.
Gustave, attends. Il a l'air paisible. Du moment qu'on ne touche pas au feu.
Évitons de ça reste une création de la peintresse.
Oh.
Oh putain! Mais merde, Maël, c'était quoi ça?
Il m'avait l'air familier, je crois. Gustave, on comprendra jamais ce qui se passe si tu tires sur tout ce qui bouge. Tiens, un arbre rouge. Le village de Gestral doit être tout près.
Is look tien in French? T-I-E-N-S. Tien un arbre rouge. Look. Tien. I didn't know that. Okay. Gonna stop it at the next save point. It's fun, but I'm getting sleepy. I want to play more, but I'm gonna get some sleep. At least try to, at least. And play more later. Or Elden Ring. I don't mind. You know what? I don't even mind doing Elden Ring all over again. I don't.
Étonnant.
The game is just that much fun.
J'espère qu'on peut lui faire confiance.
I think it's because the guys there played it all over again many times, and then they just kind of like over time made it so that it's fun to play again and again, because they're doing it all the time. So they put items and kind of like all the big like good power-ups, like where they, so that you can like kind of skip the beginning of the game, and just it's just fun, you know, like. Anyway, gonna log off here. Best. Okay.